Tourism expenditure defined as a total consumption expenditure spent by tourists on goods and service during their trip and stay along the destination they travel. It also includes any payment or purchase they made before or after their trip in purpose it used for the trip.
My name is Siti Sarah. I will present about a pattern spending in tourism. There are 5 pattern spending in tourism. Firstly, shopping. Tourists mostly spend on buy souvenir because to be made as a memories, or also buy necessities to be used during their holiday. Next, tourists also spend on an accommodation such as hotel, resort, homestay, and many more based on their income. Accommodation is the most important. Who is tourists stay long vacation because they need their place to sleep and rest. Third, passenger transport. If they want to go to travel, they will use transport because to move from one place to another place. There are many types of transport such as car, motorcycle, and flight, and also train. For automotive fuel have a relationship between passenger transport. It is because fuel is important to make sure the transport being moved. Lastly, food and beverage. It is a basic need to everyone. Mostly, tourists spend more money to try different kind of food because they want to fulfill their desire.
My name is Rashida. Next is the purpose of traveling. There are many purposes of traveling and it depends on people's situations. For example, visiting friends and relatives such as go back to hometown. Next is convention, seminar and meeting. Business, outdoor recreations like to go to theme park. Entertainment like go to concerts and personal.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Syahra binti Azizain. I would like to discuss about locally and globally. Alright, for the first, I will explain about what is the meaning of locally and globally. Locally is domestic tourism who is taking holiday and trips in your own country. For example of domestic tourism for Malaysia would be a family from Ipoh, Perak taking a short break to the Langkawi Island. Next, for the meaning of globally divide by 2, which is inbound tourism and outbound tourism. The inbound tourism is means that visitors from overseas coming into the country. Generally, when we use the term inbound tourism in the Malaysia, we are referring to the people from different countries travelling to Malaysia. For example, tourists coming from the United Kingdom to the Malaysia. Next, outbound tourism means that travelling to a different country for a visit or a holiday. Generally, when we use the term outbound tourism in the Malaysia, we are referring to the Malaysia resident travelling out of the Malaysia. For example, you are an outbound tourist from the Malaysia if you go to New York City on holiday. That's all from me. I will pass to my friend Amira Sofia to continue discuss about locally and globally. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, I am Amira Sofia. As mentioned by Shahira, there are 3 types of tourism. It is domestic, inbound, and outbound. So now I will explain about tourist expenditure for each type of tourism. Okay, I will attach you 2 infographic in the slide. So based on this infographic, it was shown that the different pattern of spending in tourism in 2018 and 2019. As you can see, the main component of tourism expenditure is shopping, accommodation, passenger transport, food and beverage, and lastly, automotive fuel. In 2018, inbound tourism expenditure was increased to 2.3%, and the amount of money is RM 87.7 billion. And for the domestic tourism expenditure, it was increased to 12.3%, and the amount of money is RM 82.7 billion. Okay, I will start explain to you inbound tourism expenditure in 2018 and differentiate it with inbound tourism expenditure in 2019. So, in the slide, I will attach some graph and the percentage of the main component in tourist expenditure. Based on that, we can say that shopping is the highest one. While for the inbound tourism expenditure in 2019, it showed that shopping is the highest one. It was 33.3% and followed by accommodation 24.4%, and lastly is passenger transport 80.4%. Okay, we move to domestic tourism expenditure in 2018. In the graph, it showed that shopping also the highest one. It was 42.0%, and followed by automotive fuel 60.6%, and followed by food and beverage 50.5%, and followed by accommodation 9.5%, and the last one is passenger transport 7.0%. It showed that passenger transport is the lowest one. While in the domestic tourism expenditure, it showed that shopping is the highest one also. It was 42.1%, and followed by automotive fuel 60.7%, and lastly is 50.9% for food and beverage. Okay, the last one is outbound tourism expenditure in 2018. It showed that in the graph, it showed that the main or the highest one is passenger transport. It is 31.6%, and followed by shopping 23.7%, and followed by accommodation 23.4%, and followed by food and beverage 30.3%, and lastly travel agency 3.5%, and it showed that it is the lowest one. Okay, for the outbound tourism expenditure in 2019, 31.8% was come from passenger transport, and followed by 24.3%, followed by shopping, and the last one is 22.5% from accommodation.
According to the latest travel and tourism ranking of the World Economic Forum (WEF), the most 10 countries that have higher visitor is number 10, Switzerland, number 9, Canada, number 8, Italy, number 7, Australia, number 6, United Kingdom, number 5, United States, number 4, Japan, number 3, Germany, number 2, French, and number 1, Spain. According to the country tourism minister, about 31 million tourists visited Japan in 2018 and 10% increase in 2019. Germany has been in the third place of WEF top 3 most attractive tourist destination since 2017. The place in Germany that can attract tourists is their beautiful cities of Berlin and Munich, also the Black Forest in Sorted, Germany. Top 2 competitive country in travel and tourism is France. Paris was the second most visited city in the world, with more than 19 million tourists flocking to the city. According to data from French government, nearly 90 million tourists traveled to France in 2018. And the most famous country that have the higher visitor in the world is Spain. Spain is both stereotype came to life and country more diverse than you ever imagined. The WEF said Spain remained the most competitive country because they are rich in natural and cultural resources which can attract people.